It's bull sale season. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us on this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Erhardt.
And I'm Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck.
A big thank you goes out to our partners, ranchchannel.com. We're going to go through the listings and the sale reports here in just a little bit. Dry Creek Ranch, Wasem Red Angus, Keller Broken Heart Ranch, Jorgensen Land and Cattle, Transova Genetics, Clear Springs Cattle Company and their annual Bred for Balance sale. Axiota Animal Health bringing us Multi-Min and Lactapro. The American Gelbvieh Association. Imogene Ingredients bringing us Farmatan. Westway Feed Products. Medora Boot and Western Wear. Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners. LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com. The Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station. Cow Country News, you know, the cow stuff.
Our leading news story, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, NCBA, voiced strong disappointment following the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to lift an injunction that had temporarily halted enforcement of the Corporate Transparency Act, CTA. The CTA introduces new reporting requirements that some say could impose significant burdens on small businesses, including family-owned farms and ranches. NCBA Executive Director of Government Affairs, Kent Backus, expressed concern about the potential impact by saying the Corporate Transparency Act will blanket family-owned farms and ranches in excessive red tape, placing millions of small business owners at risk of legal trouble. He went on to say that he is urging President Trump and the Treasury Secretary to intervene and protect small businesses from these requirements by delaying enforcement until a workable solution is found. While NCBA's advocacy primarily focuses on farmers and ranchers, the Act's implications extend beyond agriculture. NCBA's Director of Policy Communications highlighted how the law could also weigh heavily on small and family-owned meat processors, adding to their regulatory challenges. The U.S. Supreme Court's decision overturned a nationwide injunction allowing the Department of Treasury to enforce the act while ongoing federal court cases challenge its legality. Now, what does this mean for small businesses? The CTA would require entities to disclose detailed ownership information to the federal government, which could pose administrative and financial challenges for smaller operations. Given the complexity of these new requirements, it is recommended that whether in agriculture, meat processing, or other industries, seek advice from legal or tax professionals to ensure compliance and mitigate risks. Next, Select Sire's Spring 2025 Beef Sire Directory is available online for viewing. A new and powerful lineup of beef sires. We have the link for the online version in the show notes for this episode at ranchitupshow.com or head to selectsiresbeef.com. And in other news, the pork industry is closely monitoring the spread of highly pathogenic avian influenza, H5N1, with producers emphasizing preparedness. National Pork Board CEO Bill Evan highlighted ongoing collaboration with poultry, dairy, and USDA teams to ensure readiness in case of an outbreak. Fortunately for the pork industry, we haven't had any issues, Evans said. He assured consumers that pork products would remain safe to eat even if H5N1 were to affect the sector.
And now here is an update on ranchchannel.com. Check it out on your phone, by the way, ranchchannel.com. It's one of the most user-friendly platforms that you will ever see. We've got sale reports on there as we speak. We've got a sale going on like literally right now as we speak. That's Prairie Hills Gelbvieh. We have the Bred for Balance sale. We hear from Travis each and every week that we have here for the last few weeks. Schnabel, Lazy J, and Flitty, that's 3 ranches together. CK Cattle and Wager Cattle, Simmental Angus and Sim Angus Cattle, Wasem Red Angus. We're going to hear from Chris in just a little bit. Chestnut Angus in Minnesota. Beck and I got to see some of the bulls that are going to be offering for sale in Denver. That's a heck of a lineup. We have Lucky 7 Angus is on there. Jim Jensen, we've had him on the program a number of different times talking about his operation. And when it comes to feed efficiency and data on cattle, I don't know if any outfit can top this one because he has got feed efficiency information that goes back 7 generations deep, offering like 300 plus bulls, if I'm not mistaken. That sale coming up in March. Those of you interested in private treaty, by the way, a new couple out there, the Dry Creek Ranch, just getting started in the Red Angus business. Max and Haley, they're a wonderful young couple. We all remember what it's like to try to get started and gritting our teeth, and they're getting going. They're in the Red Angus business. We have their private treaty sale information available. Staying on the Red Angus side, here's what we've got. We've got Peterson Broken Heart Ranch. We've got their sale. We also have Leland and Keister's Leland Red Angus and Keister Red Angus. We've got their sale information. Back on the Simi side, Keller Broken Heart Ranch, Iacker Semmentals. Their information is available on Ranch Channel. Heading across the border, north to Canada, Arta Farms and Freeway Angus, a very, very popular sale. Their information is available on Ranch Channel. Coming up in April, Valmer Angus Ranch. They had the Reserve Champion Pen of 3 Angus Bulls in Denver. Their sale on April 1st. Jorgensen Landon Cattle, their Top Cut Bull sale towards the end of April. All those sales are on Ranch Channel as we speak in their information, and we have more that are literally coming on as we speak.
And one of the biggest reasons, if you've not been using ranchchannel.com, is you're going to love it because it puts the power in your hands, meaning you go to that site and immediately you can call or text any of these seed stock producers, as well as see their catalog, videos. And this is the favorite feature for most, is the bid online button that takes you directly to that link so that you are ready to start bidding.
And it could be DV Auction, it could be CCI Live, it could be Frontier, it could be Superior. It doesn't matter. It's a direct link right to be able to bid online. And for those of you watching the markets, the futures markets, head there. Big green button that says click here for markets, a 10-minute delay on there. That's how they work from DTN, but you can monitor the markets as well. That is what is going on ranchchannel.com. It is bull sale season, and coming up after the break, we head to Wasem Red Angus in Halliday, North Dakota. Yeah, we're talking bulls. We're talking commercial heifers in the sale. We might even be talking one of our favorite reasons to go to bull sales. We've got a lot more of the Ranch It Up radio show, and it's coming up right after this. The best way to raise beef on pasture, on crop residue, or in a dry lot, it's Westway feed products. Westway liquid supplements support increased forage utilization, efficiency, convenience, and sustainability. Find your nearest rep by calling 800-800-7517 or head to westwayfeed.com on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Why not give Gelbvieh and Balancer bulls a try this year? Raise replacement females with added fertility, increased longevity, and greater productivity. Get increased performance, improve feed efficiency, and increase the carcass merit. Maximize crossbreeding with Gelbvieh and Balancer.
If your herd is suffering from scours and has had scours, see immediate results with Farmatan from Imogene Ingredients. Get your herd on a Farmatan feeding plan now to prevent scours for next calving season. Get your herd back in shape, more breedbacks, healthier calves, and eliminate scours with Farmatan. Check out FarmatanuSA.com and on Facebook.
Superior Red Angus Genetics. Wasem Red Angus invites you to their 14th annual bull and heifer sale, Thursday, February 20th at the Wick Sale facility in Richardton, North Dakota, selling 65 Red Angus bulls, 14 open heifers, and 130 commercial heifers. Bid and buy online at DV Auction. View all sale information at ranchchannel.com and wasemredangus.com.
Bull sale season is in full swing, as we've been talking about. For us here at the Ranch It Up radio show and Ranch Channel, as you just heard, it is our busiest time of the year, and everyone in the bull business faces the same challenges year in and year out. Number one, stay true to your goals of the operation. Number two, produce a product that is consistent with those goals. And number three, try to stand out from everyone else. Now, there are a number of other challenges, of course, but those three seem to rise to the top each and every year for seed stock producers, or the bull guys, as some people call them. Now, aside from that for a bit, one of my favorite things about bull season, and it is similar to branding, and that is the fabulous food.
You cannot
Let's be
say
honest.
no to a good meal.
Oh my gosh, when you go to some of these places, especially when you're having a sale on the ranch or on the farm, oh my gosh.
And the thing is, I want to give a tip of the hat out to the cooking crew. A lot of times it's
Very
the
nice.
ladies that are taking
Very
control of
nice.
this, but they pull out all the stops. First off, by usually feeding you donuts or something in the morning when you're viewing and walking through the pens of bulls or looking at the heifers. And then lunch afterwards
Is
or
usually
during.
fabulous.
It is so good. But I saw this meme the other day and it talked about having get this, a fountain with like gravy and biscuits.
I love you.
I sent this to a couple of our friends that are be hosting bull sales that have a little time to prepare yet. And I've said, I would love to see this in the morning.
Oh my gosh, my
Biscuits and
arteries.
gravy.
My arteries are clogging from that one. I don't care. Okay, so we head to Halliday, North Dakota, home of Chris and Jolynn Wasem from Wasem Red Angus. Now, we have visited with Chris in the past about the cattle and direction and philosophy and all those sorts of things, and they are known for their customer service and spectacular sale day attractions. Okay, we'll get into that one in just a little bit. Chris, thanks so much for being on the program again. I would be remiss if we didn't talk about the cattle and the offering for just a little bit.
So we're going to start off with 66 Red Angus bulls. Then we'll move into about 13 registered Red Angus heifers, open heifers. And then we'll be selling about 130 head of open commercial heifers coming from our customers that have been buying bulls from us for years. So,
and I know, I don't want to take anything away from the bulls or the your open heifers, but when it comes to those commercial females, by golly, I tell you what, those have kind of been the hot commodities so far, this winter, when going into spring, everybody's kind of looking at them.
Not only this year, but the past several years that, this red female thing is catching on, and they're very sought after, and there's not a lot being retained around the country, and you'd be surprised where we get calls from on these heifers, all corners of the United States. And
so when you say calls on them, are you talking guys are looking together to put a pot load, or is it kind of all of the above, guys just looking to restock?
Just, guys looking for whatever reason, they're not able to find them in their area, whether it be a handful here or there, or a semi-load for that matter, just wanting to grow their numbers. A lot of areas have been in droughts over the years, and they've cut back on their herds and just looking to restock, get their numbers back up where they need to be.
And I think a lot of guys are just, like you said, if they're maybe trying to find a pot or just put some together here or there, trying to see if the price is right, if there's something that they can lay into. I think a lot of guys are just kind of watching by it.
I would agree. And to be honest with you, a lot of cattlemen hang their hat on their steer calves, right? But for the past several years, these heifers have outdone the steer calves by at least $100 or better dollars. So we're selling quality here. We're not just taking some second cut cattle and throwing them in the sale. We're selling the front end kind of cattle.
So are you focusing on the maternal a little bit more with that?
Yes. We try to find a balance in everything we do, right? So, we got to have the performance. We got to have, the carcass traits. And number one, we have to have the maternal. If the maternal's not there, all that other stuff doesn't come into play. So.
Exactly right. I mean, the guy's got to have a live calf first. I mean, that's step one. Mm-hmm. But then you got to have the maternal to take over. Like you said, all of those other traits are fantastic to have. But a guy's got to have a live calf, and you got to have maternal to keep the calf going.
Absolutely. They say if you've got maternal in your cows and the maternal is there, they'll take care of themselves.
I've had so many conversations, this over the years about bulls and this and that, and everything about four legs and goes moo. I have a conversation about it, and it seems it comes back to when you're talking about improving the quality of product that you're raising. If it be, maybe I want to come and buy bulls and put on my commercial cows and I want to just raise feeder cattle. If it be that I want to raise replacement heifers, whatever the case may be, that I want to maybe add a little bit of enterprise to my outfit. A lot of people will look at it and say, well, this is my cow herd and I need to improve or I'm trying to get more pounds per acre, right? And they go and they look at, well, maybe if I spend a little bit more on these bulls, or maybe if I do a little bit more with that bull or that bull, it kind of is almost reverse the other way, because good cows raise good calves all the time. Great cows raise great calves. Bad cows raise bad calves. That's just the way it is. And I think so many guys tend to get away from really looking at what their cow herd and really analyzing what it is their factory in the first darn place to be able to produce what they have.
Yeah, I would agree 100% there. If you can make things fall into place with the cow end of it, you can make a pretty poor bull make a, really,
a decent calf, right?
absolutely. If the maternal line is there, your options are endless with it, really. All depending on what your goals are and where you want to get to.
A lot of everybody, all of us are looking at, can we lay into a pile of these females? We have to restock. We've got grass. We got to put something on it. We have to make it work on paper, right? To satisfy everybody, the banker, all these different individuals. And with you having the number of just females, you've got pert near 70 bulls in the sale. You've got some of your open females. You've got some of your customers' females that are at the sale. And I know a lot of people have already called you about those females. You said it's just been incredible that people have called from all over the country about the cattle and the bulls and the females. Yep. So let's talk delivery here a little bit. What kind of options do we have for delivery? Because like you said, people from all over the country are calling people from all over the country trying to put together deals.
We do put that on the buyer for the females for the day of the sale. We're willing to work with anybody. We've got access to trucks, trailers, whatever we need to get their animals to where they need to be. And on the bull end, we will actually bring our bulls back home the day of the sale, and we will continue feeding them and developing them the way we feel necessary here. And we'll semen test them in April when weather allows. Just on account of our North Dakota weather this time of year isn't really conducive to doing that type of thing. And we don't feel that the bulls are quite ready for their semen evaluation at that point. We like to get them at least a year old. And after we do that in April, after the weather is warm enough to do it, we deliver free up to 300 miles. And, we've gone farther, on account of different things or whatever else. And
so if somebody's got questions, it's just visit with you, and we'll figure any of us that are going to be there that day. Visit with it. We'll figure something out. We'll get a home and get them back to you in one piece.
We're pretty easy to work with, and just to maybe remind everybody, the open commercial heifers will not be at the sale facility the day of the sale. Most of the heifers that are in the sale are at their represented ranches, with the exception of the Dry Creek heifers and the Tate Harris heifers, and also the Pat McGee heifers. They are being fed here at our ranch. So if anybody is interested in those, we encourage them to come have a look prior to the sale, because they will not be at the sale facility sale day. The set of bulls we got this year, it's a pretty solid set. We actually kept 20 plus bulls back that we did not put in the sale, which we are still developing here. That's how deep we cut into this deal. What we have for sale is quality. We always stand behind our cattle. I've always told myself that we're not going to sell a bull if we wouldn't use them ourselves.
So you've got the top cut of your bulls is coming February 20th. That's sneaking up pretty fast. Bid and buy online with DV auction if guys aren't able to make the sale, which, like last year we ran into kind of some inclement weather at the end of it.
We encourage everybody to, whether you can't be there sale day, prior to the sale, if guys are close, we can come look at the cattle here at the ranch. We encourage that. We will have some videos up online here a little bit later on. We haven't done our videos yet, but we're in the process of doing that. Our videographer got a little held up with some weather last week, so we're hoping we get that done here toward the end of the month. So.
And I got to bring this up. This actually has to go along with bull sales, because you and I have been to 1 million of them, and we'll go to another 1 million. And everybody kind of raves about the food, right? When you go to these bull sales, you're grinning right now because you know what I'm going to say about this. I have been to a lot of bull sales, and I've teased guys, are you going there to buy bulls, or you're there for the free chili? Well, right. I tell you what, at your place, Chris, last year, and you told me this, you said you got to come out, if nothing else, just come out for lunch. This was unbelievable. The food that you serve is by far, I don't mean to cut anybody out, but I'm sorry, at Wasem Red Angus, y'all have absolutely the best lunch, bar none, of any place that I've ever gone.
We we hold a pretty high standard, I guess. My wife does in her kitchen help does an awesome job on the meal. We want people to come out and and spend their money that day, obviously, but we also want to give them a quality beef product at the end of the day too. So I'm glad to hear that the food is getting some rave reviews.
It's getting exceptional reviews. I mean, I think Beck had it on her calendar from last year to make sure that we attend just for the food. You know, I laugh about it and I joke about it, but that is actually kind of part of customer service too, because I have heard guys talk a little bit here and there and say, well, gosh, I went and I just spent $13,000 on this bull and I didn't even get a set of roping gloves or anything like that. You know, and I mean, in all reality, I mean, taking care of people and having an experience that day, it does say something. It really does matter. I'm not saying you got to roll out the red carpet. I'm not saying anything like that. But at the Wick sale facility is top notch. Being right off of the, just a few miles south of the interstate. Certainly helps that, you've got pavement right up to the door of the facility, even with the meal, being able to cater to people and let them just kind of have a fun day, because we don't know what the weather's going to be like on that February day. I mean, we're hoping it's decent. We don't know what it's going to be like, but that does actually have a little bit to play, doesn't it? I mean, if you supply everybody with a really good meal and, kind of get them in a good mood, and by golly, then we start selling some bulls.
Customer service is number one for us. We listen to our customers. We take everything that our customers get back to us with, a full thought and, where we need to improve, not only throughout our herd. We think, we're always thinking about the next thing that we need to do. And we're always keeping those customers' thoughts in mind when we're doing that. And when it comes to sale day, we try to deliver on it every year. And whether it be the facility we're at, which the Wickses have been awesome to work with over the years. And like you said, it is a great location. It's just been a blessing for us to be able to sell the cattle that we're selling at the place we're doing it at.
Chris Wasem with Wasem Red Angus, their sale coming up at the Wick Sale Facility in Richardson, North Dakota, Thursday, February 20th. You can bid and buy online at DV Auction, and sale information available at ranchchannel.com and wasemredangus.com. Crew, stick around. We've got a lot more of the Ranch It Up radio show coming up after this. Attention cattle producers. Boost your herd's trace mineral status with Axiota Animal Health's Multi-Min 9D. This injectable solution delivers essential trace minerals known to support cattle health and reproduction. Don't settle for less when it comes to your herd health. Trust Axiota Animal Health to keep your cattle in prime condition. Visit your local supplier or veterinarian to learn more about Multi-Min 90. Multi-Min 90, because healthy cattle mean a healthy bottom line.
LivestockMarket.com. We hear from the crew at LivestockMarket.com every week. Bulls, cows, bred heifers, open replacement heifers, cow-calf pairs, feeders, and stockers, horses, pigs, goats, sheep, show stock, hay and straw, and even alpacas, all listed on LivestockMarket.com. Private treaty, online auctions, and on-site auctions. Buying or selling, gauge the market, do some research. Check out LivestockMarket.com.
And don't forget, they brought you AuctionTime.com and EquineMarket.com. Premium Simmental and Sim Angus genetics from Clear Springs Cattle Company. Their annual Bred for Balance production sale February 14th, Valentine's Day in Starbuck, Minnesota. Selling 130 bulls, 60 females, an elite donor, and 5 fabulous heifers.
Travis Wolf here with Clear Springs Cattle Company. Bulls carry a 3-year breeding soundness warranty, and cost share trucking is available on all cattle. If you're in the market for profitable beef genetics that can move your herd in the right direction, be sure to join us in Starbuck.
Head to bredforbalance.com and ranchchannel.com for all sale information. At Allied Genetic Resources, it's all about commercial customer success.
We see that charge, we understand that charge, and we're going to use all the tools we can to get there.
To maximize heterosis, purchase your next herd sire from an Allied Genetic Resources partner. Just head to AlliedGeneticResources.com.
Hey young ranchers, transition planning can be frustrating, but did you know there are a few things you can do to take control, despite the actions of the senior generation? Hey, I'm Shaye Wanner, and I'm the host of the Casual Cattle Conversations podcast. I visited with Jessica Grosskopf about how young ranchers can flip the script about transition planning. Here's a snapshot of our conversation.
No one has taught any of us how to do this finance stuff, right? They didn't teach us in elementary school. They sure as heck didn't teach us in high school. And some of us maybe learned a little bit in college, right? But it's not something that you should inherently know. if you're overwhelmed, I would start with going back and listing out everything about your finances. So go back to that balance sheet, start to write things down, and start to understand what you do and what you don't have in place. Then I would work with your local banker or a financial advisor and just be very honest with them. I want to learn more about how to accomplish X, Y, or Z. How can we move forward? And having someone who can help you is wonderful.
Listen to the full story by searching for Casual Cattle Conversations on your favorite podcast player. Happy ranching, folks.
And now that's going to wrap it up for today. A big thanks from our crew to yours, Chris Wasem with Wasem Red Angus, Shaye Wanner with Casual Cattle Conversations, and the boss lady, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck.
A big thank you to our partners, ranchchannel.com. Like we said, there's new listings and sale reports there. Dry Creek Ranch, Wasem Red Angus, Keller Broken Heart Ranch, Jorgensen Land and Cattle, Transova Genetics, Clear Springs Cattle Company and their annual Bred for Balance sale, Axiota Animal Health, bringing us Multimin and Lactopro, the American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients, Farmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources, Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station.
And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. Be sure to follow and like us on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show. Our email is ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Call and text 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. Spread the good word and join us again next week where it's always Tigger and Beck approved.
Stay ranchy and ranch it up.